Developed by Eidos Montreal and released for multiple platforms in 2011, Deus Ex Human Revolution is an engrossing cyberpunk first-person shooter that not only allows players to play how they want, but also tells an evocative story about progress, freedom, transhumanism and morality in the context of biotechnology. Conceived by DeMarle, who also wrote narratives for games like the Myst series and Splinter Cell Conviction, DeMarle wanted to create a story about the idea of transhumanism and how it would impact our society. The original games were highly praised for their gameplay and the themes they conveyed, and after playing this game, Deus Ex Human Revolution is no exception to this trend.
Is everything in place?
Almost.
What do you mean, almost?
I have spoken with Montreal. The broadcast satellites are ours when we need them. A few weeks of discomfort and the public will be primed for our recall.
In the year 2027, the rise of technology has become so prominent that humanity has gained the ability to enhance themselves with augmentations. However, with all of its benefits that could potentially transform individuals to go beyond their limitations, it also raises controversy concerning ethics, religion and the fate of humanity. You play as Adam Jensen, a former SWAT officer who is security chief of Seraph Industries, the leading manufacturer in augmentation technology. When the company gets attacked by a terrorist group called the Tyrants, leaving the protagonist critically injured, Jensen gets his life saved with cybernetics that give him enhanced abilities. 6 months later after the assault, Jensen is tasked to eradicate oncoming threats to Seraph Industries and find those responsible who nearly killed him. Along the way, Jensen will uncover a conspiracy with multiple groups for control over augmentation technology.
Well, looky here. We got us a Boy Scout.
Considered as a prequel to the original Deus Ex and its follow-up, Invisible War, Human Revolution deals with the matter of freedom, transhumanism and progress, as each subject area isn't all black and white. David Saraf, the founder of Seraph Industries, is optimistic with the new technology, and while he wasn't the first individual to invent nor discover this breakthrough, Saraf is confident with this in order to improve the human form both from a medical and evolutionary standpoint, even if his methods aren't always reliable. But on the other hand, William Taggart, the founder and leader of the Humanities Front movement, campaigns to relegate human augmentation as he's concerned that it could jeopardize our existence. Taggart believes that an invention that redefines what makes us human could go beyond our boundaries and could become dangerous to our survival unless we promote laws to control such a revolutionary breakthrough. Deus Ex Human Revolution answers the question whether progress should be kept under control in the context of augmentation technology, and it gives both sides of the argument so we can come to our own conclusions. The world which the game creates is fascinating, and while it features the cliche of megacorporations being untrustworthy, which is a common theme in the cyberpunk genre, the many subject areas it explores keep you engaged as you want to uncover its secrets. Aside from the main quest to find those who nearly killed Jensen, the side missions in the game are also well thought out as they feature their own subplots. It was satisfying to expose the murder of Malik's friend not only because it made you feel like a detective, but it was satisfying when you confronted the killer and exposed him in public. As for Jensen, his morals and how you achieve them are up to you, but aside from what you choose, he is a likeable protagonist. Although he doesn't show much emotion, he still maintains a sense of respect and dignity for those around him, such as his boss David Saraf, his pilot Frida Malik, and ex-girlfriend Megan Reed. The characters you meet throughout the game have rich character development, and in some cases you'll need to persuade them to your claims. The dialogue choices you'll make not only affect you as a character, but could influence the behaviour of the many NPCs you'll meet as they'll test your persuasion skills, and they could be considered as boss fights in themselves. It's also interesting how each dialogue option isn't a simple answer. While games like Mass Effect allow players to choose dialogue to determine what character they want to play as, Human Revolution presents its options to reflect the emotion of what's been spoken by the NPC. Furthermore, each character you attempt to persuade have their own personality and agenda, and choosing the wrong dialogue option could have grave consequences. Like previous installments, Deus Ex Human Revolution gives you a variety of ways to deal with each situation. Although the game for the most part is linear in terms of level design, it's entirely up to you how you want to engage the levels, and it's possible to play through the entire game without firing a bullet, except for the boss encounters, but more on that later. As you progress, you'll earn experience points, which in turn grants you praxis points that can be used to improve Jensen's augmentations in several different fields, such as the ability to see through walls, enhanced speed, greater accuracy, turn invisible, or a reflex boost allowing you to take out 2 enemies at once. The large quantity of upgrades you can choose from not only give the game depth, but it also encourages a second playthrough, as there are many different combinations that can be deployed against your enemies. For instance, you may want to specialise in stealth and hacking, but that may not favour so well in a direct firefight, and vice versa. Your weapons can be modified and upgraded to suit your playstyle, but unlike Jensen's augmentations where you earn praxis points either through XP or by purchasing praxis kits at limb clinics, weapon upgrades can only be found at black market merchants. Keep in mind, once an upgrade is equipped, you won't be able to remove it if you change your mind, but nonetheless you'll be using these merchants to keep your inventory stocked up before completing missions, assuming you're the combat focused player. As far as aesthetics go, the yellow tinted visuals are incredible. Although the game is linear as I mentioned earlier, the many locations you'll visit are superbly immersing. The soundtrack composed by Micheal McCann is excellent, and the voice acting is also well done, especially Adam Jensen, who is voiced by Elias Toufexis. My only issues with Deus Ex Human Revolution are first of all the boss fights. Since you can only shoot them, it diminishes alternative strategies you can use and goes against the element of choice which the game is trying to promote. Granted, the director's cut version resolves this issue by giving players the options to tackle the bosses how they want, but if you're playing the original game, like I was, you'll find these are one of the game's flaws. I also found aiming down the sights in first person was awkward, as you have to press the right analog stick in order to do so. Although this isn't an issue when you're behind cover due to the controls being altered, but it seemed to be an odd design choice by the developers. Finally, this is only an observation, not criticism, is the voice performance by Adam Jensen. While he certainly sounds like a badass in many situations, but does anyone think he sounds like he's impersonating Christian Bale's Batman from the Dark Knight trilogy?
You talk tough, but we both know that's all you can do. Deep down, you're nothing but a coward. Well, trust me, tough guy. I'm the real thing. If you don't give me what I want, I won't beat you up. I'll kill you.
Otherwise, Deus Ex Human Revolution is an outstanding game with an evocative story, superb voice acting, engaging yet deep gameplay, and a well-produced soundtrack by Micheal McCann. Although its sequel, Mankind Divided, is already released, Human Revolution is still worth checking out even if you haven't played this installment in the series. Deus Ex Human Revolution has got a few glitches, but it successfully augments itself to be a great game.